Okay, YouTube, before we get started, I want everybody to subscribe so I can continue making these videos. My drive belt, and it broke it. So I bought a new drive belt also. And we're gonna be installing this drive belt today. That's to adjust it. And then we'll loosen this up right here. And then there's two. So there's I think that's a 12 right there. Another 12 right there, and this bolt right here is to lift it up or down, to tighten it or loosen it. And you got to loosen this first before you can adjust it. There's another bolt right next to that, and then there's another bolt right there. So that's what we're going to do right now. This top one right here, yes, that one's a 14. So we'll loosen that up first. And you don't have to take it all the way out, just loosen it so you can, slide it up or down. Okay, so I'm gonna get that loose. I'll use my speed ratchet, make it a little easier. There, so it's pretty loose now. And then, so these are 12s. Yep. So it's lefty loosey again. I'm gonna loosen this up first. I'm gonna loosen this one up first before I try to, loosen it up or down before I try to put the belt on. It's a pain in the butt. There we go. These engines is kind of like it's sideways, not sideways, but the way that it's sitting, if you're gonna do like timing belt and all that stuff on this side, it's kind of a pain in the butt because you got no room right here to do anything. But blame it on the engineers. That's their way of doing things. I guess they just want to make it harder for us to work on, But anyways, I'm going to loosen this up. There we go. Once that's loosened, trying to loosen up as much as possible, and then now I'll loosen up this one. Okay, so this, let me see. See, now that I loosened that up, and then I'll show you what we're talking about. So this first nut right there, we need to loosen that one up first, and then we'll loosen that one out. And then this one right here, see that one, just to make it so you can adjust the belt tension. It's like a tensioner, so you can go up or down. So down like that, I think it's all the way tight. I mean small when you push it down like that. And I'm gonna try to feed on the belt and see if it fits. If not, then I'll go down a little bit more. But that's what's going on here. So let me see my belt right here. So what I want to do is try to feed it around the crank pulley first. All the way down to the bottom. There we go. And then I'll go down back to the other pulley, the big pulley in the back, and then we'll pull it to the front and try to get into the alternator. So you're replacing the alternator, it's the same thing, guys. It's really easy, but just make sure you disconnect the battery first anytime you're working with electrical stuff. I'm not doing anything electrical, so I just left it alone. But then you just take out this bolt and that bolt, and then this should be a long bolt, and then it just come right out, and then just disconnect the connector. I think there's a 10 millimeter underneath this thing, but it shouldn't be too hard. And the other pulley, and I still don't have enough room. It needs to go down more. So I'm gonna lift this up, and I'll back the nut up a little more, just to give it some more slack. There we go. And that's all the way. Oh, and it won't want to go. Hopefully they gave me the right belt. Why it's not fitting, y'all. So this bolt right here, it's hard to turn it. So when you lift it up, you give it some slack. See that? You give it some slack, and then I'll loosen it all the way, and then I'll push it back down, and then I'm almost there. There's almost enough room to get the belt on. So I'll just keep doing that. I'll lift it back up like this, and then I'll unscrew it a little bit, and I'll keep doing the same thing until it's loose enough for the belt to get on the top. And that's what I'm doing. And when you're doing this, just make sure that the bolt doesn't come all the way out. If it comes all the way out, it's gonna be a pain in the butt trying to get the nut on the bottom and stuff back in. So just do a little bit at a time and just keep trying it out until you feel like there's enough slack to get it on. Ouch. There we go. Should be enough now. There we go. Almost. There, we got it. You see that, guys? So the belt is back on, but it's so much slack. You see that? And now the way we can tighten it up is just start tightening this thing down until you got the good pressure, and that's the tensioner, and you just keep tightening it up till you got enough slack right here. And then we're gonna do that right now. And then once you got enough slack, you just snug everything back down, and that's all there is to it, guys. So I'll use my speed ratchet. So righty tighty. So see, I'm tightening it right now, and it's making the slack less right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll show you what I'm doing later. So I'm just tightening it up until the belt is a lot tighter. And make sure that the belt is sitting on the pulley correctly, and it's not like halfway hanging off and stuff. Just make sure everything is good. So when I'm tightening this up right now, see, and the belt's getting tighter and tighter, but I loosen it like almost all the way. So there's a lot of ways to go. And they said that how you know if your belt is tight enough, once it's tight and you go like this, there shouldn't be more than like an inch of play, you know what I mean, like up and downwards. It should be pretty tight. It should be pretty tight. And then when you don't tighten it, if you're not tightening it enough, it can squeak. And if it's too loose, it can squeak, and if it's too tight, it can ruin your pulleys. You know what I mean? Either way, it's not that good, because it's too much like pressure and stuff on your pulleys. I don't think that's too good either. And too loose, it'll keep slipping, and it's probably not going to charge your alternator, you know, and all that stuff. See how it's getting tighter already? And what I'm talking about is later when you do it, you don't want to be able to bend this like that. I'll show you when we're done how tight it should be and stuff like that. It's pretty easy, self-explanatory. I mean, and then another thing too is, if you don't know, you can always look at like how it is now on your car. Look at what the tension is and all that before you take it out and replace the belt, you know, or you can, because if you don't need to replace it right now, it's good just to look around and like, you know, bend the belt, and just to see how the tension is, so you know for next time. So what I'm talking about is like the belt's like this, right? And you want to bend it like this. See how I'm able to like go almost like a 180, not a 180, but you know, like a quarter of the way. And you want to be able to just kind of go like that. You don't want to be able to go all the way up like that. And when you're pushing it like this, you don't want it to go like any more than like maybe half an inch or so. But I think right now it's still pretty loose. So I'm going to keep tightening it down a little bit, and I'll be back. Okay, we got the belt back on now. I tightened, so once you do this thing, the tensioner, and you got the belt to the right tension. So it looks like this. You see that? When you lift it up, you can turn it about that, and you push it down. You know, it's snug, but not overly tight. And then once you got that, you want to tighten this bolt down, the one on the side of that tensioner, and then tighten that one down. So is that one, and it's the one right next to that tensioner. Let me see. Oops, something's in the way. Where's that bolt go? There we go. So this one, you need to tighten that one. This one's the tensioner. So you tighten that one down, and then you tighten this one down. once you get the tension right. So everything's all snugged up. We get everything all put back. So now it should be good.